My name is Pam Frink, and I'm the Executive Director of Mercy House. And I'm so excited to share with you today some of the stories of transformation that happen inside the walls of our ministry with the women and the babies that we serve. At Mercy House, we act like a family. We serve like a family. So there are house parents that watch over the girls, that dedicate their time and their lives to serving our women. Today I have with me a wonderful lady who served as a house parent, and I just want you to meet her and hear about some of the stories that happened while she lived there. Not stories really, but real lives. This is Kristi. Kristi, hi, how are you today?
Doing good.
Good. I was wondering if you could tell everyone what brought you to Mercy House.
Well, my husband and I were living with our two kids in California, and we were really wanting to move to the Fort Worth area. I have a lot of family here and just wanted to move closer to family, and we had been house parents before at abuse and neglect teenage group home in Alabama, and we had done that and really enjoyed it. And then I was at the time working as a shift staff at a home for girls that were coming off of probation. They were on probation and they lived in a residential home, and so I was doing that, and so we really enjoyed the group home and helping girls. And so my brother was actually on the board at Mercy House, and so at the time they were praying for house parents and we were praying to move here, and so it ended up being a perfect fit. And so we actually spoke to Susan Hewlett on the phone and accepted the job and moved out 3 weeks later.
Wow.
So that was in October of 2012. We moved into the home and then started taking clients before Christmas. We had clients come in, so jumped right in, and that was also when they first had their first home, residential home. So we were fitting that and getting it ready for the girls at that time. So that was a new thing that Mercy House was doing, was actually having a residential home and having house parents there, and they were able to take in more girls and service more girls at a time because they were all in one location.
Wow. Well, I know that it is, and it's an exciting time to be inside Mercy House, but there's also, you see the hand of God and you see miracles. Can you share with us one story that would be the most transforming for you as you lived in the house?
And there's so many. We saw God do so many miracles. It was really a transformation in mine and David's lives too, because we had been working with teenage girls that were taken into the system, and basically they had no say of what happened. This is just what you're going to do. And so coming to Mercy House and girls that apply and have done everything that they need to do to get in. And so we thought, oh, this is going to be a little bit easier. These girls want to be here. But really, most of the girls, their backs are against the wall. And they were just really needing someone to just open up their arms and love on them. But they were so scared, so hurt, and basically damaged in every way. And so that's what we started finding out really quickly, that these girls really just need to be loved on and to be accepted where they're at, and to let them know that it's okay to work through the pain, to embrace that. And that's what childbirth is all about. Childbirth is about embracing the pain to do what you have to do to receive the reward. And so it was really a physical and a spiritual transformation at the same time. Kind of just got chills because we saw it so many times in the lives of the clients. As they were able to embrace life hurts and push through that and let God do a miracle, then they were able to do a physical birth and let God do something brand new in their lives. And so many of these children changed their mothers' lives, It's just, I think when you become a parent, you understand the love of God like never before, because it's sacrificial. Every moment of parenting is sacrificial from day one, even through pregnancy. So we were just thinking about Tiffany. Right. Tiffany was amazing. She came, she was actually older. Most of our girls were younger. She was just a little bit older. I say older, in her early 20s. So she had, her bearings a little bit more than some of the girls that we had been working with. And she came, and you know, they're coming into a brand new environment. They didn't know us, they don't know other clients. Everybody does everything different, from cooking to hygiene to the way they manage their stuff. And she just got really tired of, if you will, the drama in the home, which is a lot. You're dealing with pregnancy and pregnancy hormones on every level. And so one day she walked out the door and she was not coming back. She was just done with it. You know, she was trying to deal with her own stuff and didn't want to deal with everybody else's at the same time. And so we just walked around the park and, you know, we worked through it, and she ended up doing phenomenal. Wow. And Tiffany's story is really quite sweet. She even named her little boy Tristan after my husband, so his name is Tristan David. Wow. And that was, so of course he has a special place in our heart because of that. But Tiffany was also the first one that received a brand new, off the lot car. We had someone step up. She needed a car to be able to fulfill, you know, some of the dreams that she had as far as working and different things like that. And so we had a donor give her a brand new Chevy Cruze, and we went to the Chevy lot and picked it up off the lot. And it was so cool to just see the blessings of God when it's, you know, that phenomenal. And it really ministered to her. We've seen, you know, each donor, as they give to what they can, meets the needs of the girls in different ways. But it was just really a blessing for her, for God to come through and just, I want to bless you, and everything was brand new. You know, it was just really a sweet moment in her life.
What is Tiffany doing now?
She has a little girl also, so she has Tristan and a little girl. And I am actually waiting to hear that story. I've been in touch with her on Facebook, so I've seen the little updates, but I know she's doing very well. And she lives locally, and so we hope to hear her story soon and get that on Facebook Live too.
So you mentioned parenting skills. A lot of these girls need to have the role modeling of parenting and family when they come into Mercy House. What are some of the things as a house parent that you teach them as far as parenting and family goes?
You know, a lot of them just come from really tough situations. I remember doing one interview where the girl couldn't get to us, so we did it online, and you could see in the background holes in the wall. It was just a dilapidated house, you know, and she's just trying to make it, and she's pregnant, and you know, it really, even though that wasn't the typical thing that we did as an interview, you know, over the internet, it really showed us where she was coming from, and it was like, my goodness, you know, some of these girls really have just pieced life together as best they could on their own. And so that, a lot of it was just the staples of, you know, things that you know, how to keep food safe, how long you can leave it in the refrigerator and eat it, how long to cook certain things, or you don't walk away from sterilizing a bottle because you know, you're gonna hear the alarm go off, or, you know, just different things that they didn't, you know, even though you would expect them to know these at this age, a lot of it was just the how-tos. And so some of them just had never been taught some of the basics, and it was really kind of shocking at times because you're expecting them to know this, but they've just missed out on a lot of foundational practices that you would think that a parent, or, you know, a grandparent or somebody would come in and step in. So that's what a lot of it was. Or just, I mean, we helped them with legal advice, and managing money was huge. You know, they just had never been taught, or, you know, had got into bad situations because they got a credit card and just went crazy with it, or, you know, different things. Helping them learn how to drive, that was huge. Or, you know, some of them had never been behind the wheel, or there was just so many things that would come up, and you just, as you would go through it, it seemed like God would give us the wisdom or bring in a volunteer that had that skill set. And it was amazing to see God fulfill it and meet that girl right where she was at. Even if it seemed to be like we were taken off guard with, oh, we're doing this now.
It's a unique job, but one of the things that's so unique about it is that as house parents, we sometimes get we see the first sonogram when a girl sees her baby for the very first time. We are often in the room when the girl gives birth. We are the first ones to help hold the babies.
Yes.
And we are also the first ones to help a girl learn how to bathe their baby.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being in the house when a girl would come to me and it's like, I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And the baby, of course, is being a newborn. And you teach them about the water and you do it together. And it is the most loving expression. And I love that about Mercy House.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that happens with the girls, besides the practical training of parenting and family, is their spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the most exciting to me because it is the longest lasting.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us a little bit about what it's like when the girls travel to church with you and become part of a church family and the experiences they have in church?
Yeah. And some of them come through and they've had bad experiences or they just know
Mm-hmm.
religion. They don't really know a relationship with the Lord. And so that's what's really, I found, just demonstrating that. Just as you live with them and they see your struggles or what you're going through, and as you can just do life together, this is how I walk it out. It's not perfect. Sometimes it's ugly.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm not just quick to jump on my faith. I have to process my flesh, you know. But it was demonstrating that and showing them how to trust in the Lord in the little and the big things. Sometimes the big things are easier than the little things because you think you can just do it, you know, and then you realize, oh my, I should have gone to the Lord first. So I think that was just really fun to show them how to walk that out, and then coming into a church body too, where people can surround them and love on them and pray for them and meet them where they're at and say, oh, I went through this too, because there were so many things that I hadn't gone through but somebody else could, and this is how the Lord helped me through that. And so just showing them how important community is in the body of Christ and leaning on other people, but also being there for other people. So as they would start transforming and starting to let the Lord work in their lives, you would then hear them counseling other girls in the home, or just give it a try, don't leave, don't give up. And so it was so neat to see them not only develop their own relationship, but then in turn help other girls in the home start that process too.
I love it when you're driving in the car with the girls, taking them shopping or doing errands, and you're playing Christian music in the car. And when a girl is brand new to the program, she says, oh, that is the silliest music. And then, can you turn it down? And then later, after they come to church and they receive the Lord and they get baptized, these same girls are right in the car saying, can you turn it up? They're singing my story. And I love that about it. And so I laugh about the prior girls that have lived with us, that they say, I remember when I couldn't even worship, and now I couldn't live without it. Just before we close, one more thing I'd like to talk about is the importance for community. I know at Mercy House we have different churches get involved with us, and different people that live in the community, and they come in and they help teach some of the Bible classes, the practical classes. They mentor the girls. And sometimes it's just as little as sitting with the girls or sitting with the babies while the girls can go take a shower. And those bonds are really also, you know, because it's not just the family parent, the house parents, but sometimes it's their mentor, the community, and surrounding these girls with a literal army so that when they leave, they know that they're not alone. I know there's often, you know, happy times of barbecues and crafting at the table inside the house. So what would you say are some of the benefits of the community getting involved with Mercy House?
It's huge. To tell you the truth, I know so much of the time I felt like, Lord, is this for me or for the girls? Because I'm getting so much out of it. Because it was such a relief that I can't do that. Like, I don't know anything about sewing. So if a girl was interested in that, it's like, oh my, who can we call? And, you know, other people's sewing is just so natural, and they've been doing it forever. And it was a need that we wanted to meet if she had a, you know, an interest in it. Plus, you never know where it's going to go. It could lead into a profession or a side job or things like that. So
Right.
one lady that was
Absolutely.
really a blessing to us was Miss Donna, who taught how to make kaleidoscopes. So she had this business where she made kaleidoscopes and telidoscopes, and she asked, do you think the girls would be interested? And so she taught them how to make a kaleidoscope, and it's very intricate. You have to, do certain steps to make it look like it should when it comes out. And so then it turned into a little business for Mercy House, and the girls started making them, and then she got them into a little shop on Grapevine, Maine, and they were selling them there, and they were going to bazaars and selling them. So because she had this unique gift of making kaleidoscopes, she was able to not only teach them a craft, but she also taught them business, small business and what it takes, and how do you price these? You put your time, and this is the cost of the materials, and so it was very practical. And she was, an older woman, but she totally connected with the girls, and that's what I loved about it, And they listened to her, and they took her instructions, because if they didn't, they saw that it didn't come out right, And so there were so many things just in this gift that she had of making kaleidoscopes, and it seems so specific, but it opened up a world for us. And then she came every week, and they were crafting and talking and bonding, and she came for months and months. She did it for so long with them, and it was really neat to see that she was able to minister to them spiritually, but then she also gave them a craft and a tool, and then to open up their eyes to business and what you can possibly do as a single mom out of the home. Maybe it's not kaleidoscopes, but you have a gift, So that was always a blessing. So there was, that's just one aspect, but mentoring was always huge. God always paired the perfect mentor with the girl every single time. Even the midwives. There's fabulous midwives, but you would just see that connection come. And just the more people that we could put into their lives to pour into them, why we have them for such a short amount of time. In the grand scheme, it's such a short amount of time, and you want to pour into them everything that you can. So it's just the body of Christ working together.
I call Mercy House a kind of cocoon. That's what I tell the girls. You are in this protected environment right now. You have people coming to you, pouring into your lives. When you graduate, you're going to go back out into the real world. So take advantage of being here, and just soak in everything there is, the financial training, the parenting training, the love that comes from the community, and finding out your identity and who you are in Christ. This is your time to do that. And so thank you, Kristi, for joining us today. I am so excited, just about the history and the legacy that Mercy House has always had, from the conception back to Susan Hewlett, the founder, to today, and the part that you and David played, and your children even, in the lives of the girls there, because it is a lasting legacy that we leave. Generations will be changed because we poured into the lives of these girls. So, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.